Hi, everyone, and welcome to the very first edition of VertoTalks On-Air. We are your hosts for today. I'm Nikoleta, and this is Emil from Verto Digital's advertising team. For those of you who may not know us yet, Verto Digital is a digital marketing agency founded about 7 years ago. Wow. We specialize in helping B2B companies, primarily on the US market, grow through data and analytics, paid media, and SEO and content. A little over a year ago, we started this new initiative that we called VertoTalks. These are monthly in-person meetups where we gather with marketers. We usually dive into the most relevant digital marketing topics. We share practical insights from our day-to-day work, and we have talks where we can essentially all learn from one another. Now, as our community changes and continues to grow, we wanted to create this new type of format alongside the in-person events. And that's how VertoTalks On-Air was born. This will be a series of shorter online sessions designed to be more practical and focused, and most importantly, accessible to marketers around the world. We'll keep it real. We'll show examples from our work, and we're going to try to always leave space for others to join the conversation. Because this format is shorter and there are quite a few important things that we want to cover. If there are any questions, just shoot them, and we're going to answer after the session in the comments. In the next 25 to 30 minutes, we are going to dive into how to set yourself up for success when crafting a high converting B2B landing page, and how to utilize AI assistants to speed up the process.
Yep. So let's say you have a product or service that needs a relevant page to drive conversions. So in the next few minutes, as Nikki said, we're going to dive deep into how to approach these landing pages for success. And we're going to do that in 5 steps, which we've already tried quite a lot of times in our day-to-day work. So regardless of whether you need to optimize an existing page or maybe you need to create one from scratch, you should always start from making sure you have a clear understanding of your product or service. Talk to your team, conduct an internal, maybe external research also, gather data from sales, from your previous marketing activities, anything that can be relevant for this case. This is your gold mine of initial data. So you need to really understand the product inside out, what it is, who it's for, what pain it solves, and so on before continuing with anything else.
Yep. And after gathering all of this data, you can always use an AI assistant to summarize those findings or even to give you further insights so that you can better understand what problem you're solving. You can use, for example, Otter AI or Firefly's AI for quick sales call transcripts and team tagging, or you can use Gong.io to highlight competitor mentions and customer objections across your calls. Now, you can use AI to capture and compare competitor offerings. Tools like Crayon and Compite continuously track their pricing, features, and site updates. And then you can feed all of that into GPT-4 or Claude to outline what is this that differentiates your product from theirs and craft a unique competitor positioning statement. Which brings us to the second step of our journey, knowing who your target audience is, your ideal customer persona, your ICP, whatever you want to call it. This is it. This is arguably the most important step, because if your service is amazing, but you have no clear idea who needs it and why, well, nothing else matters. Now, in most B2B cases, I say most, your sales team is your biggest ally. They're talking with the people on a daily basis. They know their language, their pain points, their needs, when they convert and why they convert. And most importantly, they know who they are as a buyer persona. If the product is not brand new, then you already have all the answers in your CRM, sales calls, and marketing data.
Yep, absolutely. And definitely, once again, you can use AI to get a lot of insights from all that data that Nikki just mentioned. The least you can do is transcribe sales calls and make AI cluster what's the language, which specific sentences, maybe descriptions your prospects or even customers use to describe your product, so that you can get a really precise idea of how they understand everything that you do for them. Also, sentiment analysis is something that is possible to do with AI to detect frustration points in your sales calls, maybe enthusiasm points and tone shifts if your salesperson says something that may be not really relevant to the person or otherwise. So all of this can raise some flags on how to present the service even better going forward. And now, also by going through many sales calls, your AI assistant of choice can cluster a lot of data by need or pain points, however you like to use it and however it's relevant to you. Even use it for scoring and deal probability by comparing closed deals to open ones, which are the changes in each. And also a lot of other examples. You can use AI to go through your CRM data, maybe group buyers by demographics, company size, revenue, industry, whatever you have as insight on your customers, you can definitely use it. And on top of that, by giving your AI assistant a template for your ICP, what you want to include in it, it can even fill it up with for you with all the data you gathered and summarize it to be as usable as possible. As you can see, the possibilities are definitely endless. You need to make sure you give your AI context on what you need. This is the most important thing, so that you don't get too carried away in stuff you don't really want to know or to use. For that example, in terms of sales data, you can definitely use tools like Chorus, which is now part of ZoomInfo, which you might already be using. Quite a lot of our clients are using it, so it can record and provide insights from your sales calls. And also, even further, you can use data from your review sites like G2, for example, to further provide context on what sentences, how people describe your service, and so on. Or simply, you can, after you gather all of the data that we already mentioned, you can insert it into Gemini, ChatGPT, Quote, or even Notebook and ask for specific insights. Next, going from the data you should already have gathered, let's focus on presenting it to the user. So you generally have 2 points to cover here. First is, what are you providing to the visitor? Is it a personalized demo, a free trial, a free resource, whatever it is, just make sure you know exactly what it is. Next, your page generally should have one main goal: to sign up for the demo, for example, and focus all the messaging and content around it so people know what exactly to focus on. And if you're maybe, we've seen some situations that you may not be sure what's the most important goal for your page should be. So again, you can go through your sales and marketing data and see what's been converting well in the past generally. Sometimes a free trial may outperform a demo, for example, or if the product is brand new, make your best guess. I'm sure that you know what might be converting well, or just input a simple contact form just to submit a quote, anything that feels relevant at this moment.
Yep. And again, here you can use AI to check what your competitors are doing. Tools like Crayon and Compite are going to monitor their landing pages and tell you if they're offering a free demo, a pricing quote, or it can be something else entirely. You can use visual ping to track how those offers or forms evolve over time. Are they A/B testing different CTAs, call to actions? Are they changing layout? Are they simplifying the sign-up process? anything you need to know. Um, Different tools like Attention Insight can give you heat map style predictions of what your users are going to notice first, and then help you understand why a competitor's layout might convert well, or why this layout might be better than yours, essentially. And finally, if you feed all of this product data into something like ChatGPT or Claude, the AI can make an assumption on what kind of offer might resonate best with your audience based on previous campaign data or any buyer behavior. You are gonna know that way if you need a demo, trial, calculator, or it can be something completely different. And then we get to step number 4, which is to know what makes a landing page high converting. Now, a conversion is made up by increasing desire and decreasing labor and confusion. Pretty straightforward. If you've done all of the previous 3 steps, this should be, again, very straightforward. You increase desire by using your ICP, your ideal customer persona, their pain points, their language, needs, and explain the product from their point of view. This is extremely important, not from your point of view, because sometimes by being deep in the product, so to say, we sometimes see it differently. So it's very important to explain it through their point of view. Then you decrease labor by making the page elements easy to follow, display the high value that you offer, and make it easy for them to sign up or contact you. Here, do not clutter the page with stuff that just looks fancy but doesn't really serve any value. And finally, to decrease confusion by being highly specific in your messaging, and the product, let's say the product solves this problem and that problem by having this and that feature, and this is how to start using it. This is pretty much what you need. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah, absolutely. And to go further from our AI assistants and from our AI aid, as we like to call it, if you're already using a tool like ChatGPT project, which contains all the context for your product, for your service inside it, or maybe Notebook LM, which has again every single insight that you've gathered until now or you already have, you can once more give the copy of the landing page and make the AI do an audit, compare it to your product info, to your customer needs, to everything that you have, and to understand if it makes sense in general. Otherwise, you can feed information. If you don't have that, you can feed information about your product, about your audience, maybe give some landing pages, best practices, some in terms of structure, in terms of content, how to be displayed, which after which to be displayed, and also some examples of your competitors. Maybe if you know that a competitor is converting well from a certain page, you can definitely use it to see how you stack up against it. And also you can ask the AI to find if something in your messaging is not clear enough, or maybe too vague, or you maybe steered in the wrong direction somewhere. The AI might give you some ideas, and definitely give you direction on how to improve and how to tailor the messaging even further to to be exact for the audience that you're trying to reach. But overall, I think you can literally go through every step that the user takes, from going to the website to soaking up all the content you present to them, and then through the sign up form, even through the thank you page, and even after, and run it through your AI to maybe find gaps, give it more and give for the AI to give you some ideas on where to improve generally. So the most important thing here is to give AI as much context as you need, so the user give it as much context as you need, so that the AI knows what the user needs to do, what you need the user to do, so that it creates a clear picture of what needs to happen, and then it can give you an answer if everything on your page is clear enough, and maybe if you have some gaps in your process somewhere, even before the web page, you can even tell the AI to give your ads. The AI, if that page is something that you're using for advertising, you can give the AI your creatives, your copy, and all the process beforehand to see how it all plays out and if it makes sense. And something really important, it's really easy to overdo things with AI. So just keep in mind that at the end of the day, you are the person who knows best what your prospects want to hear. So even before optimizing with AI, do talk to your sales team, send them over the page, ask them, does that make sense? Do you think that the people who are talking to you are going to resonate with that? Does it cover more or less the same topics and language that you cover on your sales calls? So that's the most important feedback is from your team, and especially the people who are talking day in, day out with your prospects. And finally, our step number 5 is to know what and how you track. So we can present the best looking page. Everything can be perfect, but if you don't know what we're tracking, what's the whole purpose of the page is, nothing nothing matters. So do know what's your most important metric for that page. Is it lead amount in general? Is it specific types of leads, maybe self-accepted leads or MQLs? Whatever it is, just know. So generally, this can give a lot of good signals to your sales team, to your marketing analysis, to everything, to know if that page converts well. You also definitely need to know what happens after a user converts on the website, how they progress through the pipeline. Because sometimes what we've seen is you can explain something to a person, it can resonate well, and they sign up. But after they go through the pipeline, maybe through the first sales call or some onboarding emails, they start to think, oh, I think that's not the service I signed up for, and then drop off maybe. So make sure that every single stage of your pipeline makes sense and it's talking the same language to the same person. It's not mix and match from many other places. And finally, make sure that you have all the conversions tracking setup, that maybe your CRM like HubSpot, Salesforce, also your tracking from Google Tag Manager, Google Analytics, and others, whatever you use, make sure you have it active, test it out before rolling out the page. And as you probably, I guess you probably do, is you'll be advertising to the page. So we definitely recommend having UTMs, UTM tracking, and also definitely try to include them as hidden fields in your sign-up forms so that they go inside your CRM as well. Offline conversions is something that we often use as well with our clients, so that we send real customer data directly to Google Ads, for example, so that Google Ads receive the best possible signals on what's a high quality lead. And also keep in mind that for some of the tracking that we've mentioned, you might need a developer. But if you don't have one, or you don't want to dive too deep into the dev world, you can always use AI assistants again to help you through the steps of implementing whatever tracking you need to implement. You can definitely provide the AI, for example, the Google Ads docs, say, please read through that and help me implement it on my website. Give it an example. If you're using, for example, HubSpot or Salesforce, give it context for it to be able to find how you're going to implement all of these things together. And it can definitely take you through the steps. You may need some adjustments here and there, but in most cases, it's really good to take you through all of the steps. Just provide it with all the context. You need what platforms you have, and it will definitely find what you needed to. And also, apart from your tracking, you definitely need to gather insights. I think that even more important is to gather insights on the lead quality from your sales team, the people who are actually talking to the leads that you're converting from your new landing page or from the updated page. Set up a process. We really recommend that we do that with all of our clients. We really recommend to set up a process for the sales team or whoever talks to these people to give you feedback at least every few days or after every call. It's maybe easier. It's maybe even easier after every call if the leads are okay. Or if we've missed something with the targeting. This is your gold mine again of data, because these people are talking to your prospects, and if you've done some changes to your pages, to your messaging, these are the people who are going to validate if what we're telling on the web page converts to what people are understanding, and more importantly, what they're searching for when we try to close the deal. Because at the end of the day, that's the most important thing that we are striving to do as a team. I think we definitely covered a lot, and I think that was as you know, the 5 steps. This was the last step, so definitely I think we covered a lot of things. We might have given you quite a lot of food for thought. So we'll be glad to hear some feedback later. And with that, I think that was it for today's webinar in terms of content.
Time flies when you're having fun, I think. But yeah, we managed to cover and give a pretty good overview of what we usually as a team look for, and how we help clients optimize their landing pages before we use these pages essentially for our advertising purposes. And we managed to include how to use AI here and there to help us out. However, the possibilities are endless, like Emil said, and there are far more things that you can do than we mentioned. And some of those things, they depend entirely on the context of your company. So please let us know in the comments what's your experience when crafting landing pages, how you use AI to help you, or if you have any questions, comments, concerns, do let us know. If you need help with something, again, let us know, and we're going to be happy to assist. And thank you so much for joining our first VertoTalks on air. We hope to see you next time. Bye.